Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सुजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णाप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्या देशतारिणे. नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरद्विषे नमः. पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूप स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते. तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे. हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dhanut Pranam. Thank you very much for joining in for our Ramayana study session. So we've been seeing how in Panchavati, Shurpanaka comes and she wants to marry Ram, and Ram tells, okay, I am already married, you go and ask Lakshmana. Lakshmana is saying, I am the servant of Ram. So in this way, when Shurpanaka understands she cannot get Rama and Lakshmana, and she thinks Sita is the Mula Karan, is the root cause of all her misery, and she goes and attacks Sita, and Lakshmana cuts her nose, and then Shurpanaka is going now to Ravan, right? And of course she goes to Kara Dushana, they are all in the forest, everybody gets defeated, and then she runs back to Ravan to tell about Lord Ram, and also incite Ravan about Sita Devi, right? So that he can go fight with Ram, defeat Ram, so she can get Ram, and then Ravana can get Sita. So this is the mind of the demons, right? How can I enjoy in all the circumstances? So this is the enjoyment mentality with which she goes to Ravan. Ravan already has an encounter with Marichi, right? But Marichi says, don't, never ever encounter with Lord Ram, because he experienced his own past. He told him, right? I'm here because I've already encountered Lord Ram, and Lord Ram just flung me, and I'm here. And Ravana goes back, okay, fine, let me not go into this particular this fight. But then what happens now? Shurpanaka is again, right? The effect of bad association, right? Then you lose all the logical reasoning. He was very intelligent, right? Ravana is very intelligent. He's a Brahmana. He's born in a Brahmana family. He studied the Vedic scriptures. He understands, right, that Rama is very powerful, and he comes back. He takes the good words of Marichi, comes back. But then what happens? Again and again, there is bad influence, bad sangha. And because of that, when Shurpanaka again comes and tells, about Rama and Sita and all, then what happens? He again goes to Marich, and this time he's very determined. And now Marich will agree to take the form of a deer, as explained by Ravan, so that in the form of a beautiful deer. The plan is to entice Sita, and Sita gets attracted to the deer, asks Ram, and then that's what happens, right? Rama goes in search of the deer, And the plan was Marich, well, he's getting killed by Lord Ram, he's going to shout, Lakshmana, help me, Sita, like that. So Sita asks Lakshmana to go, and then we all know history that Ravana comes in disguise of Brahmana, and he abducts Sita, Maya Sita actually, right? Because Lakshmana actually puts in that Agni Pariksha, they say. What is that called? The line of protection, right? But she comes out to offer arms to this Brahmana, who is actually Ravana in disguise. And in this way, Ravana abducts the Maya Sita. So this is what we are going to discuss in the next couple of chapters. So let's quickly go and study this section where Ravana is now going to go and meet. Shurpana is describing what she saw of Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita, and then Ravana is going to go and meet Marich. Being instigated by Shurpanaka. So that's how we all know the storyline. But if the more we recite it, the more we hear it, it is for our own purification, because our hearts are also filled with desires. Some of them are very illegitimate, like Shurpanaka's. Right? So when we hear Ramayana, then we also get purified for all of these illegitimate desires, so that we can come back to our constitutional position of being a servant, of wanting to serve Sita, Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman, and not want to become the enjoyer. Yes, Karpagoli Mataji, go ahead.
Yes, Mataji, thank you, Mataji Dandatman. After telling Ravana that Rama had been sent to the forest by his father, Surpanaka described how she had personally witnessed Rama's power. I could not see when Rama took up his arrows or bent his bow, which shone brightly like a rainbow. I only saw the Rakshasa army falling like hewn trees. The demons resembled a wheat field destroyed by a downpour of hailstones. I also saw by Rama's side his brother Lakshman. He too seems exceptionally glorious and is clearly devoted to Rama. Indeed, he appears like Rama's second half. I hold these two brothers to be practically unconquerable in battle. Surpanaka, as a Rakshasi, possessed a celestial intelligence. Like Alampana, she was able to recognize Rama's power. Although she did not understand his identity, she spoke cunningly, wanted to incite her brother to confront Rama. I saw by Rama's side his beloved wife Sita, whose beauty is hard to describe. Her dark eyes and hair contrast vividly with the hue and luster of her body. Luster of her body. Uh, her dark eyes and her luster of her body, which resembles a molten gold. Her breasts, hips, and thighs are exquisitely shaped, and she shines like another goddess Lakshmi. So Pranaga knew that her brother was lusty, and he had absolutely no regard for moral laws and took pleasure in enjoying others' wives. The Rakshasi went on describing Sita. Her countenance is like the full moon. With her thin waist and delicate limbs, Sita is beyond compare. I have seen, I have no women like her on the face of the earth. Be she a goddess, Gandharva, or a Yaksha. Any man embraced with delight by Sita will enjoy happiness greater than that of Indra. Without that peerless female, who is of a gentle disposition, would be a worthy consort for you, O King of Demons. Ravana's mind was captivated by her description. He considered how he might win her. Arrogantly, he assumed that she would be attracted to him, the great and powerful king of the Rakshasas. But how could she be taken from Rama? Ravana was beginning to think that he needed to exercise caution in his approach to Rama. He listened as his sister continued. He wanted to snatch away Sita and bring her to you, oh brother, but I was viciously attacked by the wicked and cruel-minded Lakshman. No one but you, O mighty king, will be capable of taking Sita from Rama. Surely she would be your wife. Why not go to the forest and see her wondrous beauty for yourself? Surpanaga longed for revenge. Sita was the cause of her being mutilated. The Rakshasa women wanted the princess to be taken from Rama so that both Rama and Sita would feel intolerable pain. Perhaps then Ramana would be able to overpower the grief-stricken Rama. Surpanaga gazed imploringly at her brother. Snatch away the incomparable Sita from Rama. Then standing the forefront of battle, defeat and kill that human along with his evil brother. Ravana was convinced. He was already angered by Rama's killing of the Rakshasa army in Janasthana. Now here was his own sister, disfigured and humiliated by the human brothers. Ravana took that personally. He especially could not tolerate the sharp and taunting words of Surpanaga delivered in front of his ministers. He had to prove his power, and above all, he wanted to have Sita. Thinking again of Maricha, he called for his chariot. This time he would not be dared by his purpose. Maricha's refusal to help him was unacceptable. Ravana mounted his great chariot and rose up swiftly into the sky. Chapter 9.
Thank,
Continue.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you,
Well,
Mataji.
thank you so much. So here we see that Shurpanaka manipulated the entire story, right? It is not with so much affection for her brother that she actually went and approached Rama, right? She was she went approached Rama. She wanted to marry Rama, and then Rama told, okay, marry Lakshmana. She went and approached Lakshmana. She was completely filled with lusty desires. And it was not out of not out of affection for her brother, that she is going and telling Ravana, oh, there is this beautiful Sita, she and you must marry her, etc. Right? She didn't think of Ravana until she was mutilated. Very very nice word that Prabhu is using. She was mutilated means her nose was cut. And when that happened, then what did she do? She wanted the revenge to be taken. Right now, I cannot get Rama, I cannot get Lakshmana. That much she is very clear. But she wants Rama and Sita to be now separated so that they also go through the agony. So that is the core the quality of somebody who's not godly, right? Because if I don't get something, right, then others also should not be happy. If I am not happy, others also should not be happy. Whereas what is a devotee's perspective? A devotee's perspective is, if I am sad, it is okay. That is the nature of this material world. But I should have been much, much more sad. But because Lord Krishna is so merciful, I am only like probably 1% sad. As much sad I should be because of my past karmas. So that is the mood of a devotee. So a devotee is never in a revengeful mood, because a devotee's heart is so much filled with gratitude that a devotee has no reason to complain. Right? A grateful heart is a heart which never complains, because a grateful heart is a heart that understands that whatever is happening to me is according to my karma. But Krishna is so merciful that Krishna has reduced the reactions of my bad karmas to such an extent that I'm just going through a little bit of a molehill rather than a mountain of suffering. So that is a basic difference between the attitude of a demon and a devotee, right? Because a demon always is complaining against the Lord. I do so much. Why bad things are happening to me, right? So that is the first stage, science of self-realization course. Discover science of self-discovery, right? The 7 days course. That is the first thing that is taught to anybody who comes to ISKCON, right? That suffering will come of its own accord, and suffering is due to us because of our past karmas. But a devotee's reaction or response to the suffering will enable him to get to a better destination. And a wrong response will again push one down that particular hill which he is already suffering in, like that. Okay. All right, let's move ahead. You all know the past tense. Let's quickly read. Deval Mataji, go ahead. The kidnapping of Sita. Now Ravana is going to come in disguise, and you're going to convince Marich first, become the deer and all that, what we discussed in the beginning of the session. Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam. Chapter 9, the kidnapping of Sita. Again arriving at Maricha's hermitage, Ravana quickly sought him out. Maricha, clad in black deer skins and seated in meditation, spoke in surprise when he saw Ravana. Why have you returned so soon, O king? I trust all is well in Lanka. Maricha sat the Rakshasa king on a grass mat. He offered him food and drink, but Ravana waved it aside and said, no doubt you recall my earlier request, O Maricha. I am here now to insist that you comply. Not only has Rama annihilated my army in the forest, but he has attacked and mutilated my sister Surpanakha. He must by all means be punished. Prepare to leave. You will assist me in Sita's abduction. Ravana had made up his mind. He told Maricha to come with him to Rama's hermitage. Once there, he should use magic to assume the form of an enchanting deer. Ravana calculated that Sita, due to her womanly nature, would become captivated by the deer. She would then send Ram to capture it. As soon as Maricha had taken Rama to a distance, he should further use his magical powers to allure Lakshmana. Imitating Rama's voice, the Rakshasa should cry out in distress. When Lakshman heard the cry, he would come after Ram, leaving Ravana to abduct the unprotected Sita. Ravana spoke derisively of Rama, knowing that Maricha considered the prince formidable. This worthless human has been exiled by his father. Abandoning virtue, he caused my sister to be violently assaulted. He is a disgrace to the royal class and a threat to all beings. His time is now all but run out. Once he has lost his wife, his strength will be gone. I shall then make short work of him. Maricha's face whitened. This was his worst fear. Ravana was bent on a purpose which would surely end in both their deaths. He stared at Ravana with unblinking eyes. His mouth felt dry and his limbs weak. He folded his palms and addressed the Rakshasa king in a trembling voice. People speaking agreeable words are easy to find, O Lord. On the other hand, rare are those who will speak words of one's good for one's good, which are nevertheless unpalatable. O Ravana, you have clearly not heeded my earlier advice. You have not sought to establish for yourself Rama's actual power. This dereliction of your duty will lead to the extinction of the race of Rakshasas, there is no doubt. Ravana's expression hardened. He was not interested in Maricha's advice. He listened impatiently as Maricha went on. Rama has not been abandoned by his father, nor is he devoid of virtue. Indeed, he is devoted to piety and truth. Listen as I tell you his history. He told Ravana how the prince had gone to the forest to prove his father truthful. Both Maricha and Ravana understood that warriors derive power from virtuous behavior. Maricha made it clear that Rama was virtue incarnate. He again described Rama's power and the consequences of facing him in battle. Do not cast yourself headlong into the fierce fire of Rama blazing on the battlefield. Maricha beseeched the Rakshasa king. Upon encountering Rama, you will relinquish for good your throne, your happiness, and your very life. Rama's glory is immeasurable. You will no more prove able to remove Sita from Rama than you could take from the sun its brilliance. O Ravana, remain peacefully in Lanka. Do not bring about your own destruction along with that of your relatives, friends, and entire kingdom. Ravana blazed up with anger. He cared nothing for Maricha's well intended advice. Rising, he spoke harshly to the fearful demon. Your words, like seeds sown in barren soil, are entirely fruitless. I cannot be deterred from my aim of kidnapping Sita. O ignoble Rakshasa, I did not ask you to I did not ask you about the merits or demerits of my intentions. Indeed, a king. Sorry.
Sorry, Maricha.
Yeah, I did not ask you about the merits or demerits of my intentions. Indeed, a king should never be advised except when he requests such advice. I have told you what I require. All that remains for you to do is to carry out my order. Ravana reiterated his idea. He knew that Maricha could, by his unique magical abilities, transform himself into the most wonderful looking creature. He felt sure his plan would work. Speaking slowly and deliberately, he told Maricha the consequences of non cooperation. Perhaps upon approaching Rama, you will face some danger, but if you reject my request, then death at my hands will be certain and immediate. Carefully weigh the things in the balance of reason, O Maricha, and do what you feel is best. Maricha tried one last time to sway Ravana from his plan. Whoever advised you to confront Rama should be executed. O king, not me. That sinful person obviously desires only your imminent ruin. The minister who counsels violent measures against a powerful enemy is himself the enemy. Such advice will lead to the destruction of the consulate along with the counselor and indeed the state itself. Maricha saw that Ravana was silent, fixed in his purpose. Obviously, his counsel was useless. Maricha then realized that his death was near. Understanding the inevitability of his fate, he spoke fearlessly to Ravana. Being a slave to your senses, cruel and evil minded, you have adopted the course of action. People with leaders who are not self controlled cannot prosper any more than sheep protected by a jackal. A terrible and unforeseen calamity has arrived at Lanka's door, O king, which will bring an end to the city as well as you. As well as to you. Therefore, I simply pity you. I shall fulfill your order. It is better to be killed by the enemy than executed by the king. Take me as already slain at the very sight of Rama, and consider yourself dead with all your followers the moment you bear away Sita. Those on the verge of death cannot understand right from wrong. No advice can help them. Maricha rose slowly and prepared to go with Ravana, saying, Let us now depart. Ravana became joyous. He had heard little of what Maricha had said. The Rakshasa king was thinking only of Rama and more particularly of Sita. When he saw Maricha ready to follow his command, Ravana embraced him and said, Here is my real Maricha. Before now, some other demon must have possessed you, robbing you of your valor. We shall proceed fearlessly on my chariot. Once you have bewitched Sita with your magic, you may go wherever you please. I shall do the rest. The two Rakshasas got aboard the great chariot. The goblin headed asses bore it away into the skies. Moving swiftly, they soon arrived at the Dandaka forest. As they circled overhead, they saw below Rama's heritage. They landed nearby, and Ravana instructed Maricha, "Now work your wonderful magic, my friend. I shall wait here." Ravana had no intention of immediately encountering the two brothers. He wanted first to steal and enjoy Sita, anticipating that this would weaken Rama. Ravana knew that Rama would soon come after him, but that would give him the opportunity to gauge the strength and weaknesses of Rama and his forces. The Rakshasa felt confident that he could confront Rama from the security of Lanka, surrounded by his powerful troops. After transforming himself into a human ascetic, wearing matted locks and simple dress, he waited in the woods near Rama's hermitage. Meanwhile, Maricha turned himself into a magical deer. His head was partly white and partly dark with horns like bright sapphires. The upper part of his snout had the hue of a red lotus, while the lower part had that of a blue lotus. His perfectly formed body had slender white legs with hoofs like glossy black gems. The deer's belly was dark blue and its flanks golden. All over its shining skin were a number of jewel-like spots. Its tail resembled a rainbow, and it glanced about with eyes that shone like diamonds. In that deer form, Maricha wandered slowly about. Other deer approached him, but quickly ran in all directions, sensing that this was not actually a deer. Maricha strenuously controlled his Rakshasa nature, which was impelling him to kill and eat the deer, which came near to him. Nibbling at leaves here and there, he went to the region of Rama's hermitage. Sita was outside the hut, plucking flowers. She immediately saw the wonderful looking deer. Seeing that he had caught her attention, Maricha playfully came near to Sita and then moved away again. As the deer gamboled about, Sita's mind became enchanted. Her eyes opened wide in wonder as she surveyed the stunning form of that magical animal. It seemed to illumine the forest on all sides as it moved around with grace and elegance, making delightful sounds. Sita called out to Rama, "Come quickly, my lord, and bring Lakshman. Here is a sight to behold." Hearing Sita calling out again and again, the two princes came to her and saw the deer for themselves. Lakshman was immediately suspicious. This animal cannot be actually a deer. No, never has such a deer looking like a bright jewel been seen anywhere upon the earth. This must be surely a Rakshasa come in disguise. I suspect it's probably Maricha. Lakshman recalled how Rama had spread Maricha's life previously. He knew the demon was capable of great mysticism and strongly suspected that some evil plan was afoot. But Sita was captivated. She interrupted Lakshman. "Oh Rama, this wonderful animal has stolen my mind. Please fetch it to me. I would love to show it to my mothers-in-law and your brothers. When we return to Ayodhya, we can keep it in the palace as a pet. I do not think that such a beautiful creature can be a Rakshasa, my lord. I must possess this gentle animal." Sita
Hare Krishna.
repeatedly
Thank you,
beat.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Last,
Yes, thank you. Pranam.
thank you. Thank you. Then Rajneesh Prabhu, please go ahead.
हाँ जी, हरे
Sita
कृष्णा माता जी,
repeatedly,
दंडवत प्रणाम।
Dandavat Pranam. Yes.
From where, माता जी?
Sita repeatedly besieged Ram to capture the deer. Hare Krishna.
Hello, हाँ जी, हाँ जी। Sita repeatedly besieged Ram to capture the deer, which remained close by. Rama felt obliged to satisfy his wife. He turned to Lakshman. "Dear brother, see how this deer has created such a burning desire in Sita. I must try to catch it for her. I have never seen a deer like this anywhere before. It defies description. If, as you say, it is a Rakshasa in disguise, then
Then it
it
was
must
to death.
be then it must be put to death. Therefore, it must be put to death. Therefore, I shall chase it through these woods. Either I will bring it alive, or having determined it to be a Rakshasa, slay it with my sharp arrows. Perhaps then I may take this for its skin for Sita." Rama asked his brother to stand close to Sita and guard her while he was gone. Like Lakshman, he also feared an attack from the Rakshasa. He told Lakshman that Jatayu was nearby and could assist him if necessary. Rama then fastened his sword to his belt, and after trying on his two quivers, He grasped his bow. He then went toward the deer, which bounded away into the woods. In fear, Maricha ran swiftly into the deep forest. Rama pursued him, moving through the trees with agility and speed, but Maricha kept ahead, sometimes appearing for a moment and then disappearing again. Acting exactly like a deer, he bounded high in the air, and glanced about fearfully. In this way, Maricha took Rama a long distance from his hermitage. Rama felt helpless, seeing the deer maintaining a constant lead over him. He stopped and
Leaned on a tree.
leaned on a tree, exhausted and
Perspiring. Hare Krishna.
exhausted and perspiring. He decided that he decided that Lakshman he decided that Lakshman's assessment was correct. This could not be an ordinary deer. He would have captured it by now if it were. Rama concluded that the deer was certainly a rakshasa. Spotting it emerging from a distant cluster of trees like the moon appearing from behind clouds, Rama took out an arrow. He imbued that shaft with celestial power and shot it at the deer. Its teeth through the air, glowing like fire, seeking out its target. In the moment it struck Marich and pierced him in the heart. The Raksa bounded as high as a palm tree and screamed in pain as he crashed to the ground. He again assumed his actual form. Rama ran toward the dying Raksa. Maricha saw him approaching and remembering Ravana's instructions with his dying breath, he let out a cry that he could be heard for miles, perfectly imitating Rama's voice, which he vividly remembered from their previous encounters. Maricha cried, Lakshman, help me. Alas, Lakshman, help me. Alas,
Alas.
Sita. Alas, Sita. With that final cry, the Raksa died, his gigantic form covered in blood, lying prostrate on the ground. Rama stood before the dead Raksa, filled with apprehension. This was obviously a plot by the demons. When Lakshman and Sita heard that cry, they would become confused. Rama looked at Maricha's massive body. The voice of Raksa was hundreds of times more powerful than that of a man. Rama had been chasing the deer for an hour at least and was miles from his hermitage. The only thing, the only,
The only thing to do here. The only thing to do was to
the only
run.
thing to do, the only thing to do, the only thing,
Here, Prabhu, the
the
only
only
thing to
thing
do
to do
was to
was
run back.
to run
To run back.
back, to run back. Rama immediately began to retrace his steps, thinking of Sita. He feared the worst. At the hermitage, Lakshman and Sita had heard Rakshas cry. Sita was struck with anxiety. Turning to Lakshman, he stood calmly. He said, Did you not hear your brother's cry? Surely he has fallen into the hands of demons. Even as a bull might be seized by a group of lions, O Lakshman, go quickly to help Rama. My heart is all but stopping and my breath hardly comes. Please act swiftly.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Dharat Pranam. So this is we all know the past time very nicely. How this the entire thing was orchestrated by Ravan, right? And Maricha he knew about the powers of Lord Ram. So he just did as per his instruction. He was ready to die, right? Either I have to be killed by Ravan or I have to be killed by Ram. So that's what is also mentioned here. That let me have darshan of Ram and die at the hands of Lord Ram rather than die rather than be killed by Ravana, right? So in that way, how he the maneuvers the voice of Ram and everything. So here Sita Devi actually represents the Jivatma, right? Acharya has explained that Lakshmana represents the spiritual master and Rama is the supreme personality of Godhead, right? So we all know now that Sita is asking Lakshmana to go, and Lakshmana puts a Lakshman Rekha, right? He puts a Lakshman Rekha for protection of Sita, and he tells Sita that you will be protected as long as you stay inside, right? And then Ravana now comes disguised as a Brahmana, asking for Bhiksha, asking for alms, and then he tells Sita that it is not good that you give me from inside the house, you come out and give me. And then Sita is a good natured woman, she comes out, and because um, she does not think that anything can go wrong, being a nice lady with a soft heart, she just comes to give alms. And then the Acharya has explained that the moment she crosses the Lakshman Rekha, that means the Sita is represented. See, all of these pastimes are lessons for us, right? So that Lakshman Rekha is instruction of the spiritual master, that Lakshman told that the Jiva or Sita is represented with Sita here, that you should not cross this Lakshman Rekha. As long as you are staying within, then you will not be harmed, right? So as long as we stay within the instructions of our spiritual master to do what we are told and don't transgress the instructions of a spiritual master, we are safe in our devotional life. The moment we transgress the instruction, just like Sita was abducted away by Ravana, we will also get abducted by the Rakshasas that are there in our heart. What are they? Lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, illusion. So we are all likely to be succumbed by these tendencies of Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, because that is the nature of the material world. But then what is it that we need to do? We need to guard ourselves very, very carefully, right? So that we don't get into this illusion of wanting to pursue our Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. So we need to purify our intelligence. Like Prabhupada said, purity is a force, books are the basis, utility is a principle, and preaching is the essence, right? So these are the instructions of our Shiksha Guru. So we always have to be on the guard and try to purify our intelligence by studying the scriptures, try to keep our mind under control by practicing mantra meditation, the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Always be in the association of devotees, never stray alone, and also be very careful not to disobey the orders of our spiritual master. So if we are very careful about doing all of this, then it is just a question of time that we will attain perfection, irrespective of having a mind, irrespective of having these lusty desires in our heart. We shall still be saved if we are always under the instructions of if we are under the shelter of our gurus, and we always take the instructions of our spiritual master. Okay, so we have about 6-7 minutes. So let's quickly read. I believe Srimati Shamapriya Mataji has got raised her hand. Oh, okay. All right, fine. So she's lowered her hand, which means, she doesn't want to read. So then we will stop here. I was just wanting to ask her to read because she raised her hand. So it is fine. So here we will stop, right? And what we can contemplate as we continue tomorrow is how we need to be careful of following the instructions of our gurus. And Srila Prabhupada's instruction is the ABCD square formula. In the association of devotees, we should study Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Prabhupada's books. And then we should chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra in the association of devotees. We should honor only the diet of Krishna Prasadam and not be tempted by the lures of the tongue that I want this, I want that, right? If we give in to our sensual demands without following the instructions of our gurus, then we will also be abducted by Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, and then there will be a path will become more difficult for us to come back to our senses and be situated on the path of Bhakti. Grantaraj Srimad Ramayana ki Jai. So we'll continue this tomorrow. What does Lakshman do? Of course, we all know the pastimes, and like I told previously, we read these pastimes so that we can reiterate and tell ourselves, right? If we don't follow the instructions of our gurus, what it can lead to, right? All of these pastimes are lessons for us, and from that perspective, we should study these wonderful scriptures. Grantraj Srimad Ramayana ki jai. रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतिता पावन सीताराम. रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतिता पावन सीताराम. सीताराम जय सीताराम. सीताराम जय सीताराम. सीताराम जय सीताराम. रघुपति राघव राजा राम. रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम. जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद. गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव. निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल. जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. अनंत कोटि वैष्णवा वृंद की जय. निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. So we can have darshan of all the devotees who are all there today. Shobha Mataji is there, Karpakoli Mataji, Harjeet Mataji, Namesh Prabhu ki jai. Okay, Nagamani Mataji, Archana, Sunil Kumar Mataji, and then of course our Rajneesh Prabhu is there, our Sarva Gopeshwari Mataji is there, Srimati Shamapriya Mataji is there. All right, Archana Sunil Kumar Mataji, Chitra Mataji, okay, Deval Mataji, Sudham Mataji, Madhu Manjari Mataji, Subara Prabhu. All right, thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Vanchakalpadrobhyascha, Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha, Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrindi ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you, devotees. We'll meet you all at 4:30 a.m. as we start with the Shikshashtakam prayers, and then we will meet at 11 o'clock as we continue with this interesting study of Ramayana and the lessons that this study of Ramayana offers us, which needs to be followed by us at every moment of our life. A wrong choice means we are increasing the duration of our reawakening of our Krishna Prema. So every moment, every choice is very important. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrind ki jai. Nitai God